What's up, guys? Tricks Ridiculous back with another video. So we got the Hawkeye deep dive, and there are very mixed opinions. So I'm going to break it down, go over the good things and the really, really bad things. If you are a Hawkeye fan, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'll start with the good, and honestly there was a decent amount from what we saw. Lucky the dog being a character is obviously the best thing. It would be sweet if Clint could actually command him in battle, but considering he is just a normal dog, my guess is he will probably just sit around the helicarrier and eat pizza and be a good boy, which is still fantastic. Now, the world, the future wasteland, looks great. This will be the first new area we've actually gotten since the start of the game. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. I was a little nervous. It was just going to be something like the Pacific Northwest, reskinned, painted orange, and without the fire. But it actually looks like it will have some uniqueness to it. So that is good. The other thing is Hawkeye himself. I think Hawkeye himself is a W. He looks like a really unique character. I will be doing a separate video going over everything we've seen from his kit and what I think will be good and not good. But it definitely seems like he will play very different from Kate Bishop, which I think a lot of people are worried about. And the costumes. Ooh, the costumes. Now, honestly, these costumes are unbelievable. Every single costume I've seen has looked absolutely fantastic. Let me go over to this one right here, the Ronin. This one looks absolutely fantastic. This is probably going to be the one I'm using. Hoping we get some reskins on this. I'd love to see a red, a blue, maybe a pink, and then once they unlock it where we can use multiple of the same character, we can go a full Power Rangers theme. But honestly, all of these costumes that he was using look absolutely fantastic. Definitely going to pick up maybe one or two of these. All right, so all of that looked really good. Now on to the bad. Okay, now first of all, if I can find it here, right about here. Okay, who the hell is this? Who is this here? What the fuck is that? Now I really, really hope that this is just a cutscene. Maybe Taskmaster is just an NPC in this future reality, and maybe we need his help for something, and I don't know. Because I swear to God, if we just have to fight Taskmaster again, this time in the future as a boss, that'll be absolutely terrible. Okay, and I'm not even going to say anything else on it. You all know how bad that would be. So really hoping they didn't do that. Hoping this is just maybe like a cutscene of some kind. All right, now on to the really big news, and that is, of course, the release date. Okay, now this is really where the real sour grapes are. The release date is March 18th for this DLC. So obviously that left a massively bad taste in everyone's mouth, myself included, but let me break it down. So this will be just a little over 3 months from when Kate released. Kate released on December 8th, okay, so December, then you go January, February, March 18th, so a little 10 days over 3 months. And Kate herself was a little over 3 months from the actual launch of the game. Okay, so prior to launch, if you were going to tell me that, a character was going to come out every 3 months, I would say that's a pretty realistic timeline, and that's a pretty respectable time frame for when we're going to get new characters. But now everyone's mad about it. So why is that? Well, the biggest reason, and I've been saying this, if you've watched my other videos, you know what I'm about to say, there is still no end game content. Okay? If we had a meaningful, repeatable end game grind, a DLC every 3 months would not seem like such a long wait. But because we are so starved for content that we legitimately have nothing to do until then. They announced this war table a little over 2 weeks ago. And everyone thought, oh, we're finally getting some content. This was after a massively long drought of no information, no content. They finally release, okay, the war table is going to happen in over 2 weeks. And then the war table happens, and now we have to wait another month to actually get the character. Okay, and there's still nothing, no word on the actual clone labs or the Omega level threat missions. Phil did say kind of passively during one of the live streams a few weeks ago that he thought that the clone labs and the Omega level threat were probably the next thing that were going to come out. But it was so unbelievably passive in how he said it that, it can't really be taken as any type of confirmation. It was more of just his kind of thoughts, right? Now, we need the clone labs prior to the release of Clint, or at the very least alongside him. If they release this DLC with Hawkeye and all it is just a few hours of campaign, and then we all just go back to doing hives and rifts and villain sectors, the game is officially dead, period. Now, the other thing is that the next gen launch is happening at the same time. Now, it's entirely possible that they did just want one shared release date. A couple of reasons. One being that they probably didn't want to push two different updates because they kind of have to pay for every update. So they might have wanted to just push everything at the same time. The other thing would be, if someone is maybe playing for the first time on PS5, they've got a fresh DLC with Hawkeye available the day they pick up the game. That way it's not two different releases. It's not like something comes out after they get it, and it's not like they're playing old content. So there's a little bit of a business decision there. I still don't really agree with it, but that could have been their thinking. The other thing to think about is that the move to next gen may actually be a pretty significant turning point in this game. So this is kind of a hot take, and while most of you may not even care about the next gen release, myself included, because I don't own a PS5, maybe I will eventually, but it's not something that affects me now, but I guarantee that it was definitely a tremendous lift on Crystal Dynamics' end. Moving all of this stuff and everything that they're doing to next gen, that is definitely not easy. And they definitely had an army of devs working on that project, right? So with that heavy burden of the next gen release now clear, I'm hoping that they can finally focus more of their resources on actual content. So that's my prediction. Truthfully, I will have to see some results first. I would have to see even a minor developmental success with this game before I put any further trust into this dev team, but it's something I'm really hopeful for. Anyway, that's all I've got. Bottom line, the end game content continues to be the most important thing for the future of this game. Clint looks very, very cool, and I'm very excited to play him, but without an end game, he will just be another temporary bump in the player base. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one.